Chapter 1. Prologue. The darkness inside that room finally lightened up, revealing her frame to those dusky brown eyes. But as soon as his gaze fell on her body, the calmness in his demeanor completely vanished. Within a second, his eyes turned bloodshot, whereas his palms clenched vigorously by finding her wearing that dress which belonged to his deceased wife. Her smile started fading, seeing that rage engulfing in his eyes. She had not expected him to come back home so early this evening, and somehow she wore those clothes just to make him smile, just to see him happy, but the opposite of her expectations happened. Her heart shuddered when she saw him walking in her direction. The darkness in his eyes continued to turn more and more vicious with every passing second. His feet paused just right in front of her. "Why did you wear this?" His voice felt extremely calm, but she knew he was on the edge of bursting out at her, because she could clearly see that ruinous animal inside his gaze, whom she was terrified of and even hated the most. "Answer me!" "Nina, how fucking dare you touch my Noel's belongings?" He growled at her, making her shudder in terror. Tears shimmered in her eyes, not only just because he shouted at her so badly, but also because his choice of words made her realize that she was his no one. The man she had started loving more than her own self, he considered her as his no one. Seeing those tears in her cerulean eyes and enduring her silence, he gritted his teeth. Gripping her own arm aggressively, he forcefully pulled her closer. Her body got slammed against his chest. "I fucking warned you to not step inside her room, then how dare you to come here?" He spat at her, holding his last ounce of patience before he would end up doing something irrational to her for her audacity. More tears gathered into her eyes, but she couldn't manage to say anything, and her silence made him clutch her arm more roughly. She hissed, feeling his hold tearing her skin apart ruthlessly. Thrusting his face closer, he peered down into her glossy eyes. "So all this time you have been fucking dreaming about taking her place in my life?" he uttered, and those words of his were enough to turn her pain into a wrath. He was thinking this low of her? His words shattered her already throbbing soul. "No, I have never dared to dream about taking her place in your life," she breathed out, restraining herself from breaking down into tears in front of him. "I never wanted to take her place in your life. I just wanted to get loved by the man I love." She finally dared to reveal her feelings to him, which she had been trying to hide from him all this time, but not anymore. "I wore these clothes just to make you happy," she spat at him. He heard her in complete silence. "I wear your Noel's clothes, not because I know you can never love anyone more than her, but because I wanted to get loved by you, Rican Alfonso," she shouted at him, and ended up shattering down into tears. "I did all of this because I love you," she whimpered. Her innocuous heart just wanted to get love from him. She just wanted to see love in his eyes for her for once, and that one of her turned into a desperate need, which made her do all of this. But hearing those words from her mouth, his jaw clenched more barbarically. His presence turned more malicious because he could never even think of loving someone, except for his wife, Noelle. "So you want me to fucking love you?" He grabbed her jaw and forced her head upward to look at him. Her glossy eyes met with his ruinous ones. "You did all of this to get loved by me? Fine." He pulled her face closer, almost brushing their lips. Her tears continued to wet her cheeks. "You will get what you want, Nina Halsen, but in my fucking way." He glowered at her, and her soul froze when she felt him gripping the zip behind the dress she was wearing. "You wanted me to love you, didn't you?" He pulled down that zip aggressively, and her heartbeat dropped, feeling him ripping the front of her dress. Dark insanity had engulfed his rational senses. "Now I will love you the way I fucking want." Saying that, he tore that dress apart from her body, revealing her naked body. She gasped in horror, and before she could do anything, she found herself getting forcefully shoved against the bed. Her entire naked body started shivering in terror, seeing him ripping apart his shirt in a second while his sinister gaze continued to remain fixed at her. She tried to get up from the bed, but before she could do that, he pinned her against the bed. His naked body got pressed against her bare one. Now I will tell you my fucking definition of love. He aggressively clutched her wrists, making her petrified because she was aware of how far his sadistic madness could go when it came to hurt someone. And you will understand it tonight that why your love is a fucking sin for me, Mirena, saying that he smashed his mouth against hers, numbing her soul in terror. The only mistake Nina made was to fall for a man who was made to love someone else. But now how much this mistake of Nina's was going to cost her, and to what fatal extent. That she dared to love a man who was always going to consider her love as a forbidden sin.